Okay, welcome LightWarriors. It looks like we're coming in clear. See myself. See the volume. Okay. It is. Oh, the days are going by pretty quick. Thursday. Okay. So start talking a little while as the students come in. Okay, appreciate you guys coming in. Net. Loud and clear. Okay, thank you. Hope my side is fine. Okay. Everything else can see the structure of the framework of my body, so that we do everything can see clearer to you. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. Very clear, right? It looks blurry for some reason. Okay. So last week we focused on, we started to really go into the thrusting, yeah. Okay. So we really got into that. We added the basics, okay, there. And then we added the angles with the thrusting. So you can really see the different angles adding to the basics of the one, and we came up. Okay. 2, 4, 3. You can see this 4, and we dropped. We shot 4, and we lift. We shot 4. Okay. All right. Sorry to make this picture. Just take this little. Okay. All right. The balancing of special flying rocks over here. Okay, so we did the basic angles, starting to add the thrust movement. So sometimes when we did our beginning, we start to slice and cut, yeah. So we get that motion. Now we start at the forward and back. Okay. So one thing about the forward too, we don't want to forget the hilt. Okay, so the hilt is the handle. So a lot of times this back part is used too, yeah. So when we draw back, sometimes it's not using the blade, it's using the spaxel. Okay. So what we're doing now is going to focus on the next level, which is adding more techniques to it, so we can move up to the second form a lot easier too. Okay. So the second form is going to be focused on these special techniques that's going forward. Okay. So make sure you guys all feel relaxed, center yourself. Okay. And again, since you're using the wrist a lot, yeah. And if so happen you missed any, you forgetting to do these, center yourself and make sure you stretch the wrists out, yeah. Okay. Fingers together and circle the wrist. And reverse. Bring it out. Reverse. And then we do a figure 8. And always remember to stretch. Just take your time and breathe. Reverse. And always remember your surroundings, because I'm not sure how the room is or wherever you're practicing. Be wary of the surroundings, so TVs, low ceilings. Yeah, high ceiling, but the fan is low. Okay. Be aware of that, and people and family around you. Don't swing around too fast and somebody's walking by you. Okay, so do your best and just take your time. Okay, all right. So let's start moving on to the next techniques. Okay. Mainly it's going to be focusing on still the thrusting. Okay. So you understand, let's start small. The regular jab. So what's the difference? You're holding it in and you just poking. Okay, just get the poke. Okay. But do you notice how I'm not gonna stand there too long. I wanna get out and come in. Okay. You don't have to go fast like if you're just going through the movement, you just go tap. That's all you need. So if you have somewhere on the wall or something, focus point, even if something hanging in, then that's what you go get. Yeah. If you saw the clock, it's boom, boom. Okay. So that gives you a focus point there. Now we understand the extend, yeah. Okay. Now let's add this to when we come out, and anytime I drawback, the drawback is coming backwards, right? Draw back, draw. So it looks like when you draw into it, draw. Okay. When I say draw back, this is going to represent a high. So it's sort of high. And say it goes back. So you can use this as a focus point, or it can be over here. Okay. I won't get into application, I'll get into movement first. So back, and then forward. So this is how it looks like when I'm standing. Okay. I'm going back and forward. Okay. So notice my stance, forward stance and back stance. Okay. So now I can go left side, I can go right side. Left side and right side. Now let's clean it up. So you still have a focus point in front of you. So that's how it looks a lot closer. Pulling back. Forward. Draw back. Forward. Okay. So high. Okay. Now if I go low, so draw back. Forward. Draw back. Draw back. Forward. Draw. So now if I'm facing you in the more, you say going towards the side and forward. Side and forward. Up and forward. Up and forward. Okay. Let's use this. The variation of the color there. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay. So let's see, got that. Now the other one is the file. Okay. So what do I mean by file? Okay. When we go forward, you're gonna use this technique. Okay. So now it's like you're tapping into it and it goes over. Goes over. Goes over. So it's like but now it goes. So that's how it looks like that file. So again, you see a file, and I let it lead out, lead out, lead out. So it's like having two moves in one. You might see one, that file, and let it go. So it lifts. Hope that makes sense. So if you get slow, you can go. Yeah. That's our fire. So let me know if I'm going too fast or slow. Okay. We got fire horse. Hi. Hi, fire horse. So again, hopefully that's making sense. Let's go back to something more easier too. So let's say we learn our lead and we sort of parry. So we come down. Okay. Now watch this saber. So it's like it's dropping in and it pokes. So just like our basic angles, when we came up, it goes straight down, yeah? Came up and then straight down. Okay. So but you're gonna follow through. So it leads, come over, and the sword tip goes in. So it pokes. Poke. See that? And you can just take your time, go back and forward. Back and forward. Back and forward. Back and forward. Back, forward, back, forward. I'll keep going. You can switch the leg too. Try to give you different angles. Okay. Back and forward, back and okay. So notice you redirect. So if I'm facing the front, see, front. So for those doing the Tai Chi, you notice the redirecting. Yeah. Okay. So it's like it rolls, it just drops over it. Boom, rolls and drops over. Okay. So, and you can just take your time and feel the motion. It's almost like you're rolling the boat. Okay. If I go small, you see this. But let's not keep the rolling. We're trying to keep the point. That's what we're focusing on the tip of the sword. So the saber, our energy is there, right? Redirect and redirect. Okay. Okay. Got it. All right. Let's move on. This one will be a lot easier. Okay. Since we're going from the above, think of this going over. Okay. And we're just dropping in. So it looks like like you're going whoosh, whoosh, okay. Over. So I select I want to thrust, okay, but something's there, okay. So I need to go over and then pull. So I go over it, pull, okay. So that's how it looks like when I'm standing. I just go over. Okay. Now with the body, it's like I'm leaning back. So I sit back. Okay. So make sure you see this. You see the sit back. Okay. And then I go over. So how should I explain? It's almost like a tag or something's coming at you and you're trying to beat you. Okay. So I move out of the way. Okay. But instead of me just going, whoa, okay, so something's coming at me. Say like coming at me. I'm like, whoa, okay. control that by going into, so we're getting out of the way. So I'm like, whoa, okay. But I drop my hand. I mean, I lift my hand over, I drop and come over. Okay. And then when my body's doing that, I'm moving out of the way and it closes over. Okay. So if I was going a little quicker, I'm like, whoa, okay, whoa. I'm going this side, whoa. So over. There's also it cuts too, but let's focus all on the forward motion. Okay. Is that making sense? So if we're using it as a stretch, we can just like inhale and like exhale, and you just let it go. And you can take your time. Now, if we go slow, and when there's nothing there, we just trying to feel the movement. The more you need to get out of the way, you're gonna start to feel this, and you notice the feet starts to slide and go over. Okay. So if it's going slow, you sit back, you feel the sit back, okay. And then you bring the leg in and go up. Okay. So you can step back, bring the leg back, and slide and go. Okay. So let's call this a fall back thrust. Yeah. Fall back. Thrust. Fall back. Thrust. And forgive me if I say things feel easy and I'm like, oh, it's easy there. When I explain things, maybe it might not seem as. I realize a lot of simple moves can be a lot of detail when you try to break it out. But keep in mind, things are still simple. You just gotta find the right way to explain it or see it. So a lot of times, depending on your background, so it's your experience. Maybe you're used to I don't know, tennis or something. So it's almost like you stepping back. Boom. Yeah. But stepping back, I go over. Okay. If you're fishing, the rocks and trees, and you need to hide from the shadow from the fish, so you dip over something. Okay. Just throwing some examples out. Okay. That's over. Okay. The other in the Tai Chi sword, the that time they go over the falls. Over. Okay. Let's try a fun one now. Okay. Just letting the sword lead forward. Okay. So I just do this. Pretty simple. Because it's simple, right? Up. Okay. So what happens if I let it lead now? Okay. So select, I go here and I lead towards this way. Okay. Now watch this. I'm gonna kind of step back. We can do it one direction. Boom. Okay. Bring it in. Okay. Lead. Okay. So this is like you're doing this, lead over. Okay. But now we're focusing on one way. Up. Up. Okay. But then when you start feeling the movement, you can step and just take your time. So this can be very playful. Okay. Now again, make sure you don't have anybody around you because you can be playing and then somebody's behind you. Okay. So I'm just letting it out to 60. Okay. So a lot of things can happen with this one. It's also like a hidden blade, or you might hear techniques of shadow sword because you don't see it. So what happens is this. See my back? Okay. You don't see the sword, and then the sword comes out. Okay? So sometimes a lot of the techniques can be like where they do it is like they're getting chased almost, and then you're running back, and it comes out. Okay? So this is where all these names come from with the shadow sword, hidden blade. Okay, it's using the spur. The getting lost there. Your vision, yeah. Okay. Easy to see coming towards the side. Something coming straightforward, hard to see. Okay. So coming from the back. So when you practice the sides, you just go like this. Out, out. And when you get comfortable, you can go out, down. Okay. And what I do is I take that step and I go out. Okay. One more time, step back. Out. So you guys doing good, just take your time. Remember, just because I went a little, sometimes I go quick or it feels quick, you can always go slower, go over. Okay. So that's going towards my left, fine left. Now if I go right, same thing. Right, right. Because sometimes things can be like the techniques can go out. Okay. And from here, just showing you, I can pull in. So it's like I'm not drawing back to go the other way. I'm here. So what I do is I just bring it in and watch me turn, and it just shoots out. Okay. So again, it's not like I boom, boom, yeah. I don't know how much counted that. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm trying to get that hit and just go straight into 1. Okay. So this is if it's helping you move quicker and quicker and quicker. Okay. Okay. So again, if feels too fast, just take your time. You can always practice just staying still. Okay. So you want to get used to the movement first. Okay. And so it's like the sword is swimming through. Okay. Sword is swimming. Swim. Okay. So you just need that focus point, and then you just turn it into the going forward. Okay. And you notice I'm not going. We need the power, right? We're just trying to get the flow. Okay. All right. So we got our jab, extend, we have a draw back, got our follow. So you lean over. We got a quick just swimming. Okay. What else we did? We did our over. Did it over. We did our file. Okay. What else was there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's start an easy one. Yes, another easy one. This is more easier. Just hold the sword. I promise this is easy. Way easier. Okay. So basically I'm doing this. Doesn't look that much. There you go. See? Boom, boom. So the energy in this one is like you're going from here, the whole sword up here. Yeah. So I was like, what's going on with it? Boom. Okay. So that's how it looks like. Okay. I'm just going. Boom. Boom. Okay. Looks weird. Again, you're not going all the way up. That'd be too much, but just above here. And then if you need to, you can reach up, but never overextend. So what's happening here? I'm just pushing forward. The only where I see this technique used way more than like for everything, basically. If you ever see the kendo, boom, kendo, you see the bamboo swords, it really practice. So it's almost like you're clashing in, okay, or they're lifting. It's where you see those music coming in like this. And then you start talking story while you're like right there, like, oh yeah, how do you doing? That doesn't happen. But that's here's a clashing. It's almost like you're locking and you're pushing. Okay. Push. The lifting is the uprooting part. Okay. So just like if you ever did the Tai Chi or the uprooting. See this part? So let me explain. So if I go like this, and you see the hands lift. So the energy is the same thing. Going here and lifting the energy. Now what's funny is the connection. You see the circle in the frame? That's your ball. And the connection is like the chi going through, but then you're using the saber as a focus point. So you use the chi and the force is going out up of it. So it gives you a direction. And what happens is a lot of times it's just so it can vary in angles. Okay. Now I want to point out with a lot of this techniques, some might understand a lot more, some might still feel I guess you don't get to use it a lot. So my experience in some of them are not as much. Even some forms and techniques that they learn, they never show you anything, and then sometimes you find some techniques that you may only do it one time in your life to so happen in that situation and needed that move to protect you or something happened. And sometimes it could be not even in a martial arts situation or just something falling down that could have crushed you or moved you, or people falling down and could have fallen everybody or something else flying. End up doing those techniques. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, something maybe I might not find out until way later on, and like, oh, that's what it really could be used for. So I try to be real transparent with all these techniques. Okay? So the only way for us to really learn and experience a lot of these is once you start touching the saber, and especially with the saber, right? There's no saber, so there's no class or all this lineage with the saber itself, except in the movies itself. So I'm still using kung fu sword techniques that I learned, and it passes on to the saber. But as we go deeper into it, you'll see a lot of the Tai Chi sword and the Tai Chi movements that I did pass down into it itself. Yeah. And with the saber itself, since we're playing with the technically the idea of the scenic with saber, right? I think it's concept. But the saber itself is round, right? So these techniques can be used not just as a sword, but it's representing a stick. Okay? That's the only way I really look at the saber. Okay? So now, from a sword, you only get the flat and get the blade. And if you're using Taichi sword, you get the double, the right and the left side blade and the front. But this gets all action. So that's where the stick can play. And then when you start realizing the stick, it starts to change. Yeah, the movements change because you can roll and you don't have to worry about any angle or how you attack. So applying these techniques is once the roundness of the saber comes, it comes more open to more techniques too. Yeah. So if you just did the sword and it might not work for the sword because of the flat part of the blade, but then we're using the saber and it's nice and round, then it's applied as a stick techniques too. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Sometimes the technique can be as a stick. Stick plays different. It can mimic the sword, spear, anything else. Yeah. The difference you can grab anywhere too on the stick. Yeah. All right. So hopefully I don't go too far in all these things. A lot of information. Okay. Alrighty. Still got see if we can do it in this one. Okay, so there's a point. I know I went over with you guys. I'm not sure what was this class though. Quite easy, right? We understand thrust and point. The point either is going down, so going down. Okay? So it looks like the wrist is broken, but it's not. That's your technique. You're going out, you just dip. To the wrist. Yeah. That's I should say that's most simple. Let's add that all to the simple moves because you guys all advanced already. Yeah. Now notice how things can start to blend to each other too. Point. But then it can open to the file. Okay. So point. But then it can move on and play off. Even when we go out, the drawback can connect to all these techniques. So keep this in mind when you practice. Not everything's, you don't stand out here. Okay. And stay there. Yeah. A lot of this can come back, drop back. And then it's like it launches out again. Okay. But we don't want to stand out too long like this. Yeah. So you're trying to, okay. All right. File. Okay. Let's see. We did a lot. Okay. I had my notes for you guys, but I had to move things around and went somewhere else. I hope everything is getting clearer and it's getting much easier. Okay. I feel all the thrusting techniques should be a lot easier from when you start turning and doing all these other angles. Should be more straightforward. Again, let's do one more thing too. Let's use the heel. So keep this in mind. Even if I'm going here and I'll look towards my other side, the tap, hilt, forward, hilt, forward, hilt, forward. The second form focuses on the back and the front. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of thrusting. Just as open move, it's still straight out because you could be holding the stick. Boom. and it draws it back. And you see the tap, and then it extends it. So if I use my tapping, think of you're gonna knock on the door. Okay? So if I knock on the door, knock. Other way, knock. Down, knock. Okay? Other way. Knock. I can bring it down like this. Knock. 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 You'd be surprised. This is one of the a lot of people forget this part because sword, and we might get tangled up. It could be even like this, and this is so close to the person's face. Yeah, just like that. Okay. All right. Ooh, I feel that worked out. Hopefully you guys feeling it too. Okay. Make sure you're getting your water. And I start feeling more the light on me too, yeah. Okay. Hope again now everything be clear. We'll see next week we need to break down the techniques a little bit more, and then we'll move to the second floor. Okay. Again, you guys made it to the first floor. This should be feels a lot easier. Of course, I said that how many times. As you grow, get comfortable, and you get familiar, that's what makes you start to grow faster. So again, don't be hard on yourself. Even if I can't see you, don't get hard on yourself. You're like, oh, I can't do it. Do this. I want to do it correct. Okay. The main thing we're trying to do is just get the flow. Okay. When you get the flow and you relax, okay, don't worry about it right now. Just practice the technique. Okay? That's the key part. Okay? Getting comfortable. Once that comes out, oh, everything comes out so much easier. Okay, and that's the main thing I really hope you guys can get for you guys. So just take your time. And if you ever feel like, ooh, just drop the shoulders and just breathe again. Yeah. Okay. And just take your time again. Just take your time. And thank God you got the video, so you can always watch it again. Okay. Okay. I think we'll stop right over there. Yeah. Let all that soak in, feel it, practice what you can remember, and just keep going. And so let's all breathe together. In and center yourself. And exhale. And just sort in, use that light. Let it surround you. Feel the light. They're light warriors, so let that light be your healing. Let it surround your whole body. Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining me each time during that class. Just keep going. Let the light shine through. You guys gonna get it. Okay? Just feel comfortable, breathe, and never worry. Okay? Never doing nothing wrong because you're taking a step and practicing for yourself. That's that key part. Okay? Do it for yourself, feel good, feel happy, have fun, and then you become that light warrior. Okay? See you guys, our light warriors. Thank you, and I see you guys. Take care. Thank you.